The US is about to host the biggest sporting event on the planet. But kids in America grow up dreaming about lifting the Lombardi Trophy or playing in the NBA Finals. Yet kids around the world, all they want to do is represent their country in the World Cup final. So we're here at the CONCACAF Nations semifinal today, which will be a teaser into what could become of that team. A new coach after a poor performance at Copa America. A team filled with young stars who are performing well in Europe but have yet to put it together for their nation. 2 World Cups ago, when they were young, they didn't even qualify for the tournament. And just last World Cup, while they got through the group, they were knocked out swiftly in the round of 16. Why is it so important that they put on an impressive performance at the World Cup? Back in 1994, the US hosted the World Cup, which led to incredible growth here in the States. And the youth participation skyrocketed to over 4.5 million kids. Lionel Messi, the greatest player in soccer history, plays here in Miami, Florida. MLS teams have ballooned from $100 million valuations to over $1 billion per team. So do you feel the pressure? The pressure on the golden generation is so high, and the future of is this country a soccer nation depends on their performance at that World Cup. So we're gonna go in and investigate, is Team USA ready? And will we change the future of soccer in America forever? So the burning question is the US even ready to host the World Cup? And in my opinion, the answer is easily yes. We have the infrastructure. We've got incredible stadiums and arenas all across the United States and in North America too. But the real question is, are the fans ready? Over the summer, we hosted Copa America and there were empty stadiums throughout. Meanwhile, our counterparts in Europe had the Euros, where the saxophonist captivated a nation of Germany. You had fans crying in the streets over wins and losses. And then we're here today, and we're under 2 hours to kick off, and look around. You couldn't even tell there's a match going on today. So the other key part is, do people even care about soccer here in the United States? It's US versus Panama today, and my prediction for the crowd, I think it could be 50-50. Will it even be sold out? This is a semifinal match. So a lot of questions need to be answered just here today, and that has nothing to do with the on-field performance, which we'll talk about when we get inside. Where are you from?
From Mexico.
And where do you live now?
Oxnard, California.
Do you think the US is ready to host the World Cup?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Actually, I think it has grown in the last 5-10 years. It's grown so big that I think they have an opportunity. You know, there's a big opportunity for them to show, to grow. So we can show the world of what we have.
And you're saying we, but you're in the Mexico.
Actually, my daughter, she's born here, so she's probably going to play with the USA. She's been playing soccer since she was 5 years old. She wants to play professional, but she's going to play with the USA.
Do you think other American kids grow up with the dream of like playing for Team USA, or they want to play other sports?
50-50. Yeah. 50-50.
But you think this World Cup is going to be a huge moment that decides. Do you think if the US doesn't do well, that could actually be a negative to soccer in the U.S.?
No. We have to think positive. You know, you never know what's going to happen. But let's hope we win, and then that can motivate the rest of the kids. Actually, the ones that are coming, like my kids.
Who's your favorite player? Ronaldo? Over Messi? Who's your favorite player?
Santi Jimenez.
Jimenez?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know what this game is like, the way I would compare it is like the NBA Cup. Do people really care about the NBA Cup? Not yet, not really. But it's good practice, it's good reps, and it's competitive. But the problem is, even with all that, if you look around here, I can spot 4 USA fans. We are 90 minutes from kickoff. It's just no one cares. It's very troubling. I do think when the World Cup gets here, these stadiums will all sell out. But I mean, Mexico, there's probably 20-to-1 ratio here of Mexico to USA fans. We don't even play Mexico. They're in the second game, and that's in 5 hours from now. Hopefully we can find some Team USA fans look into, their excitement around the World Cup. Today is March Madness for the majority of Americans, but you guys seem to feel differently. Where's the passion come from for US soccer?
I mean, I grew up watching U.S. soccer back when we had like Dempsey and Donovan and all of them. So to see them kind of grow up, I grew up watching 16-year-old Christian Pulisic perform.
The golden generation, right?
Making soccer in the U.S. good again. Like, we're good at all these other sports, but we're not good at soccer, but I feel like it's changing now.
So that's the question that we're trying to solve today. How important is the World Cup for that growth?
I think it's super important if we want to get a younger generation to start playing and start investing in the development. As soccer as a big-time sport, then it's important for the USMNT to like show out in Nations League, you know, Gold Cup leading all the way up to the World Cup, and then do good in the World Cup, you know? Why not?
Like, what would winning the Nations League, right? They got to win today and then win on Sunday. Right. What would that mean to you as a fan?
It'll get to show a lot of these guys that don't play a lot, like Josh Sargent, right? It'll be cool to see him hopefully show out today, and finally we solidify like a number 9 because it's up for grabs right now. So I think it'll be important for a lot of these younger players or newer players to the team to show out and really solidify like their positions and like Pochettino's roster.
If there's any question over whether the U.S. is ready to host a World Cup, look at this venue. This is night and day from the 2022 Qatar disaster. SoFi is stunning. This view, the board they've got, I mean, how ridiculous is this? The U.S. is hosting over 70 matches, and 8 of them will be here in LA, including the quarterfinal. So we've got full access to show you on the field, up in the suites, and the full game day experience. Is Gold Cup here?
One of the Gold Cup games is here. I'm sure they'll do something similar for the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
But World Cup.
Yeah, it's FIFA.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Thank you.
We need the number 1.
Sorry?
You need a number 1. You can't be here.
I'm escorting all of them.
Okay,
Thank you. All right, so if you guys didn't know, the reason we are here today is because of our friends at Underdog Fantasy. They have my heart. These are my favorite people. But Underdog is an incredibly fun game that you can play. Make sure you sign up on Underdog and hit the subscribe button, because if you do, you can come to the World Cup with us. Tim Ream, Weston McKinney, Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams, Josh Sargent, and let me give you a little rundown of Team USA. So the guy to pay attention to, they call him the LeBron James of soccer. His name is Christian Pulisic. He's Captain America. He scored in the last World Cup to put the U.S. into the round of 16. He is right there. Then we've got Yunus Musa. He's in the midfield. I'm looking for Matt Turner. He's our goalie 1. He's warming up over there. Okay, so Weston McKinney is number 8. He's a central midfielder. I would rather USA win the World Cup than any of my favorite teams. The Ravens win the Super Bowl. Texas wins the national championship. This is my dream, which is why I've put so much pressure on today and the future in the World Cup, because this will change the generation of soccer in America and actually give us a chance. The expectation for the 2026 World Cup is like a quarterfinal, a semifinal would be a dream. No one's expecting us to win the World Cup. But if we go to a semifinal, kids will grow up with that dream of winning the World Cup, and then you get the training, you get the investment. And 20 years from now, there might not even be a kid born that could be playing in the World Cup, that could be a superstar. This feels like almost the perfect view for a soccer match. You can see the whole field, you're up high enough, but obviously you're at the perfect height. The thing that people always wonder, seating. Oh, yeah, that'll play. That will play. Guys, I'm upset. Like, we are 10 minutes from kickoff, and look at this stadium. 12% capacity. Look at the American Outlaws. That is the saddest demonstration I have ever seen. High school football games have a crazier fan section. I'm not saying those fans lack passion. I'm saying the fact that they can barely fill half of a section. It makes me sad. We have so much work to do, and we've only got 15 months to do it. This needs to look completely different at the World Cup. One little fun fact, the turf that they're playing on right now, the ball is moving really quickly. Soccer is best played on grass. FIFA actually requires that the host nation in any venue that hosts a World Cup game rips up the entire field and inputs grass. So why is this unique? because MetLife Stadium is known for a lot of ACL injuries due to the turf. MetLife is where they're hosting the World Cup final. The Jets owner and Giants owners have refused to put in grass. It's very expensive to maintain the grass. But to host the World Cup final, they have no choice. So they are literally doing it to host a bunch of World Cup games, but they will not do it to have their NFL team, the Jets and the Giants, play. Maybe that's why those teams haven't won a playoff game in about a decade. I told you guys that today would be a little appetizer into the World Cup in 26. And this was my word. This is what it would look like if we want to ruin the chance that USA would ever be a soccer nation. 0-0 first half. US is supposed to be dominating Panama. It's just been an unimpressive performance. And we're healthy. We're playing everyone. And it's a competitive match. And this is Pochettino's team. We're going to have to go sit with the Outlaws because I would literally leave with a sour taste in my mouth if we left right now. Follow. Come on, Eunice. Hey! No! Look how good underdog looks, though. Hey, you gotta keep the energy high, and I appreciate the Outlaws for getting us going, but the performance is pathetic.
I'm blind, I'm deaf, I wanna be a ref! I'm blind, I'm deaf, I wanna be a ref!
Another really interesting thing about this U.S. national team that puts even more pressure on is that the head coach, the manager, is Mauricio Pochettino, who took my Tottenham Hotspurs to a Champions League final. So all the bitching and complaining about Greg Berhalter and who was a good coach, we have one of the top managers in the world. So we've got the golden generation, and now we've got one of the top managers. It's all setting up for this moment in 2026. But performances like this leave you with questions about how successful that run will really be. What number match did you say this was?
This is 98 for me for the men's national team.
And you travel around the world following the team?
Yes, sir. Been traveling around the world for years now, home and away, both.
What's the best atmosphere you've ever seen?
Hands down, Columbus, Ohio. Any competitive match versus Mexico. USA, Mexico, it's been unreal. Nothing compares.
And what do you think the World Cup will be like in the United States?
I think World Cup 26 in the United States is going to be awesome. I think the environment's going to be really good in a lot of places, especially here in LA for some of the USA games. So I definitely think it's going to be a good time for anyone that comes out.
How important do you think the U.S. performance in the World Cup is for the growth of soccer in America?
I think it's huge. I think definitely need to at least make like a round of 16 to continue the growth. If you don't make that, then I feel like we're just at the same point we're at. Yeah. You make a 16 or further as a host country, then I think you might drop some more interest. So I definitely think there's a potential there.
And what would your recommendation be? Which city should they come out to a World Cup game in? Would you rather see USA out here or see any match in a place like Columbus or Vancouver or somewhere else?
If you're an American fan, to come out to either LA or Seattle for one of the group stage games, definitely going to be some of the best atmospheres. Not that it won't be better in some other places, but LA or Seattle for group stage, definitely going to be where you want to be.
And what would you do if we won it all?
Oh, man. Dude, I don't even know. You talking about a pipe dream, man? Dude, I hope that happens in my lifetime. If we won in 26, man, I don't know. I'd lose my job, I'll tell you that much. Come on!
Played through and driven in! Waterman, the substitute with the goal! With just a minute left to play!
When we set out to film this video, I knew that the stadium was going to be packed. I wasn't sure how the U.S. would play. This is what I fear in 15 months from now. Because this would ruin any progress that U.S. soccer has made over the last 30 plus years. Inexcusable, unacceptable, embarrassing. The U.S. just lost to Panama. Their home turf when we filmed the introduction of this video. And the point of this video was to show you how the US was making progress and how much was at stake with the 2026 World Cup. I did not imagine that would be the result of today's stuff. Completely empty stadium, 0-0 to the 94th minute. A loss to Panama, an embarrassing effort. It's frightening of what the World Cup could look like here in 2026. But in life, sometimes you need to be knocked down and then get back up. And I'm hoping that the lesson learned today, we'll be able to look back on 15 months from now and it'll have been a blessing and not a curse. So, with that being said, Snapback fam, we appreciate you. And once again, would highly recommend checking out a World Cup game. We're going to be doing so. Hit that subscribe button so you can see all that content from LA. Much love. Peace.